Oh, my lovely jobs of the internet. It is I, Multi126789, and when you're seeing this video, I would assume it's either the end of December or the beginning of January. Either way, a happy 2021 or happy New Year's to you in case it's before 2021. But yes, we are doing a video that's going to determine the fate of what we're doing on the channel. It's not really as drastic as I just made it sound, but there are games that are coming out next year that I have a list for. Yes, I have a list. I always bring a list because I get off topic very easily, like I'm doing now. But anyways, the fate of what we're going to be doing on this channel relies on you guys. So I would like you guys to grab a seat, grab some food and maybe some drinks, and we're going to go ahead and go down the list about what we're going to be talking about today. Alright, my lovely chows. So, one of the things that we're going to be basically doing, it's going to have several polls down in the description down below. These polls will be able to dictate what we are going to be playing on the channel once I come back from my little hiatus of January and February, so we can start doing stuff anew again. So basically, these polls will probably close roughly around the time of when these things will be brought up. Also, I will make polls going throughout the other parts of the year just to give everybody a refresher around those times so I can gauge when I'm gonna be doing these playthroughs. So if you have to remember this, if you think you have to remember this individual video, do not worry, because we'll still probably make a video later down the road with sectioned off times for these individual games. Without further ado, though, we're going to talk about the February lineup. That's right, I took a break during January and February so I could do some stuff for the February lineup. I know, I'm very smart and intelligent like that. Anyways, without stroking my ego any further, these are the at least 3 games for February that I am interested in playing and that you guys will be able to vote for down in the description below for choosing if you would like to see that game featured on this channel. So the first one coming up is Bravely Default 2. This game was supposed to come out last year, but because of complications due to a virus that spread very rapidly around the world, it got halted and delayed for a while, and then it got pushed back until this upcoming year. So it's supposed to be coming out February the, 17th? Or was it the 12th? I don't remember. It was sometime in February, at least. So, the basic premise of the game is a turn-based RPG where it has a system called Brave Points where you can get points to stack up and do a lot of attacks at one time to an enemy, or you can decide to defend and build up these points so you can get more of them. There's only a maximum of 4 you can get, but it's a very story-based game with they changed the actual battle flow where you can actually just run into enemies rather than having random encounters, which is good, though I really would rather have the old system where I could just, just turn off random encounters altogether or just turn them on. I still like that option because then you wouldn't have to worry about encounter steps or running into enemies that are faster than you on the world map, but that's just me. But no, that's one of the games for February of next year. If you would like to see that game, and you're probably seeing some footage of that game on screen now, please make sure to vote that down in the description. Our next entry in this February block is Shimagami Tensei Nocturne. This game is a HD remake for the Nintendo Switch that has full voice acting. Me personally, I've only seen one person play this game. Shout out to Sir Lionheart Entertainment and Sir Lionheart. But no, I personally do want to experience this game for myself. I just never had a PlayStation console until just, 2017. So, me personally, I've been kind of itching for a way to be playing some of these new releases of these games and being able to record them, because as you know, I'm very ingrained in the Atlas sphere. Sphere? You mean sphere? Yes, the Atlas sphere, where I'm very I played both of the Personified games, as we already know with the channel stuff I've done. I've also went out of my way to play some of the 3DS ones that I could play. Then now is my time to actually play one of these ones that are very iconic, but with also all the voice acting, and yeah, it's pretty good. It's a turn-based system with a press turn-based system. Basically what that means is that the way that the combat works in this turn-based RPG is that if you hit weaknesses or if you land critical hits, you can continue to attack the enemy, and you can build it up to 4 times to give you double the amount of turns from your enemy, and vice versa, where the enemy can take advantage of your weaknesses and keeps getting turns and can completely destroy you. The difference between the last game and this one is that this is all random encounter based, so this is going to be real fun. But yeah, that's it for SMT Nocturne, and again, if you want to vote for this one, link is down in the description below. Alright, and for this next one, it is Personified Strikers. Finally, a year and a half later, after the release in Japan, out in the East, and we're finally getting it out West, Personified Strikers is among us. Now, personally, I know you guys may be up in arms about this because you're like, well, Multi, we know that you played both of the Persona 5 games, you just didn't do them on the channel. And I'm like, that is fair. But also, that being said, I don't think it's going to ruin too much of the enjoyment of the game, due to the fact that I know there's going to be some story beats that I will explain in probably the game, but it is a Warriors game, or a Mushin, I don't remember what it's called. But it's if you played Hyrule Warriors, and if you played Fire Emblem Warriors, if you played basically any of the Warriors games that Toei Tecmo has made, it's that, but if we added RPG features like, an actual RPG. Basically, the best way I can say is that, imagine the fact that Age of Calamity basically is the same thing as this, but it takes a lot more of the RPG elements and exploration elements out of the Persona 5 series. It adds them to this beat 'em up that allows you to have a lot more expansive gameplays and set pieces, and allows you to do a lot more other than just fight waves of enemies. For me personally, that's what I'm like, oh, I'm in. I'm all in if it at least can keep me engaged for a long period of time. So that's why I would like, me personally, I would like to get this game. But again, it's all up to you guys down in the description below to go ahead and vote for Personified Strikers if you're interested in that game. Also, I would like to say that it was also in the intro of Fall last year, so it's probably actually going to come to fruition this year, or this upcoming year, so I'm very excited for that. Alright, and with that being said, that is everything for the February block. I guess the next thing we're going to go on to is the summer block, which all these games are going to be relatively close to each other. I say close in quotation marks because they don't have official release dates yet, but I am waiting on bated breath for all of them. So I guess I'm going to start off with the first one. The first one being Disgaea 6 for the Nintendo Switch. This is a lovely JRPG game where it is technically like a Fire Emblem game where it's a tactical RPG where you move units, but it has the same lovable RPG combat system, which is turn-based, where you set X amount of units onto the board. You can choose to execute plans and rack up big combos by chaining attacks to get together, and you get all kinds of unique units with unique voice lines And they changed up the art style to something that I'm not really used to. It's now a 3D instead of the sprites that they were using for the past 5 games. I'm hoping that it's not probably going to ruin my enjoyment of it. I'm just going to say it's a little bit different, which honestly will be a little bit off-putting for a little bit, but also that means some of the characters or reoccurring enemies in the game actually are going to get their first 3D renders in this game, which is actually going to be interesting. So basically, you're probably seeing the gameplay right now. It's a very hyperactive, fun adventure with this zombie dude who's going to be taking down the strongest demon that's causing a threat for everybody in the world. His power is to hyper-reincarnate. Anytime he dies, he gets stronger. Like a Super Saiyan, but he's a zombie, so it's even better because he actually can't die. I'm excited for the game. I know that it may be for a lot of people, since it's the 6th game in the series, a lot of you will probably be wondering, oh, can we just start at number 6, considering you didn't play any of the other 5 on the channel? Also, by the way, I must correct myself, I did play the last bit of the story of 5 on my channel in the stream archive from back in 2017, so I can't say I didn't do that, but you know. But no, you can. We're gonna, if we play this game, I think it's gonna be like every other game where the stories are loosely connected to each other, but they all stand alone on their own standalone story with their own characters and their own motives. So, with that being said, if you would like to see Disgaea 6, I don't know if that's the full title, but you know, I'll say Disgaea 6, okay, I know what the title of Disgaea 6. This is my hard read. So this Disgaea 6 will be called Disgaea 6, Resurrection, Disgaea 6 Refueled Resurrection. Disgaea 6 Refueled Resurrection. Because of the fact that when he dies, he gets stronger, and his goal for beating the strongest overlord in the game is the point of the whole game. But anyways, link down in the description for that poll, and I will post this a separate video closer to when this game comes out to just refresh you guys on what we're going to be playing, or if you guys decide to vote on that. Alright, next up on the docket is a very fun game, which a lot of you guys probably earlier on this, or last year in February, probably saw my channel because I decided to make content again around that time. So, Rune Factory 5 is going to be a thing next year. I'm very excited, and I am waiting in awe and anticipation, because just like Disgaea 5, like I mentioned, this Rune Factory 5 is also taking the same approach as using 3D models instead of, you know, pseudo 3D models with 2D sprites, which, I mean, I may have a bias because I'm just so used to how crisp and clean sprites look, and I also am probably a weeb, actually most definitely I am, but Rune Factory, for anybody who hasn't seen my videos on my channel, I mean, first of all, I'll probably put a little notification in the card up top now so you can go look at those, but also, if you're not very aware of the series, Rune Factory is a series where basically you play Harvest Moon, but they decided to also be like East, a video game series where you run around and you fight enemies on a plain open field to get items and other things so you can craft stuff, you can make a better farm, better equipment as you go around the world figuring out the world's secrets and stopping nefarious people from doing nefarious things as a lone farmer. And that's basically it. There's no other fluff. That's basically it. So, even if I honestly want you guys to vote for this one, because me personally, it would just be so great to come back to do more stuff in Rune Factory 5 after doing everything I did last year for the remake. It wasn't really a remake, but it was just a republishing from the 3DS to the Switch, and that game was so good playing it again, and I remembered how excited I am for the next game that they announced last year. So, if you guys want to see me do more content on Rune Factory in general, and see if anything has majorly changed from the last time I played it, And up until, you know, if you want any help or experience helping you guys with your own playthrough, then remember to go in that description down below and go ahead and vote for that game. Alright, and now for the magnum opus for the summer. Well, it's really going to be in October, but it's summer close to and more relative to when the game is going to be released than not. So I wasn't going to give it its own category because, you know, I still wanted it to be chosen around the same time as the other ones. Never mind. Regardless of that, the game is Shimagami Tensei 5. Now you may be thinking, didn't I already say a Shimagami Tensei game was coming out this year? Not mentioning also Persona is technically, it's a Shimagami Tensei game, but not anymore because they're branching off from that. Anyways, yes, that is true, but this is the next game in the line of games from the Shimagami Tensei series. So Shimagami Tensei Nocturne is actually the third game in the series, and for some strange reason, I'm actually surprised they haven't ported over both the fourth game and Apocalypse, which are basically the fourth game in the series and also the sequel to the fourth game and then the fifth game. But I digress, because again, just like I mentioned with Disgaea 5, Rune Factory, basically all the games, they have their own set in stone story, which will only make slight references to other games in the series, so it can be played in standalone. And like I said with Nocturne, it's basically going to be the same system, but it's going to be new high fidelity, a completely new story, and a fresh take off of something that, me personally, I haven't played. So I'm very, very excited to be able to go and play this game for the first time with you guys if you were interested in seeing it. So I don't really have much extra to say other than this game looks cool, it looks good, and also this has been teased since, like, I don't know, 2015, 13? Wasn't it 13? Oh no. No, it must have been 16, because that's when the Switch was launched, and that's why they were teasing it for, but then it took so long. So yeah, regardless, I really want this game to also get some votes, because, oh my gosh, we've been waiting for so long for this game. We made it a joke to say that Persona 5 has taken it and stomped it into the ground, but somehow it got resurrected, and now it is out for revenge. So if this game wins, I will be happy anyways, because SMT5 is a game that we all deserve in our lives. A little bit of chaos and a little bit of order that will not go without the neutral party standby. But if you want to vote for this one, remember to go down in that description below and vote for it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is one more category that I actually neglected to mention up to this point, because I don't know if I want to make this a standalone video or not, or if I'm going to add this to this video, but either way, there are some games that I still have that I kind of want to revisit, only due to the fact that I'm either feeling nostalgic for them, or I just really want to go back and play them for the channel, because, you know, I keep thinking about wanting to do more content, but even if I don't get every single game that I listed off this year, especially because I want to do stuff that's good for you guys for content and that you'll enjoy watching or think you'll enjoy watching, or otherwise, I mean, this is my open to revisit category, or games that I basically haven't touched at all, but I've been alluding to. Well, the first one is going to be obvious, because you guys know how much this game means to me. You guys know how much it means to me, and I already finished the full playthrough of it. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a game I would like to revisit at some point. Mostly because I would be able to do it a little bit differently than when I played it originally. I say that because the year that I actually played it was the beginning of 2018, because it came out at the end of the year of the Switch's launch. But also, I got through the game and then I wanted to immediately replay it again because I really enjoyed my time with it. To the point where I cried maybe more than 5 times in the game. But that's neither here nor there. So basically why I would want to revisit this game is because there are quite a few episodes that had capture card problems due to the fact that the computer I was using to record it on wasn't wasn't the best quality. I'll just say that. I'll just say that there's a few episodes that kind of are wonky that I tried to fix in editing, but it's like a lot of it kind of is corrupted, and there was also a DLC that came out that same year that I couldn't really implement the way I wanted to. But now that I actually have the fortitude to want to go back and play through the game again, and also just enjoy my time with it, I think I could make that playthrough even better than it was the original time I play it. And again, it wasn't my first time playing it too, because I kind of just wanted to play the game for myself when it came out. And also I got it 2 weeks later than everybody, so then I really grinded my way to getting through all the story stuff for myself so I could catch up with everybody, and then I really fell in love with the game. But anyways, that's going to be Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If you want to see that revisited, these games will also have their separate polls, so please make sure to vote down in the description below. And yes, I'm going to keep saying it until we're finished with all the games. So this one is actually quite a low blow, and takes me way back. Way back before I even had a capture card and I was simply using a camcorder. Yes, I am talking about Super Mario Galaxy for, you know, the Nintendo Switch slash Mario 3D All-Stars, right? So, I would like to have an actual HD-ified gameplay or series of this uploaded to the channel. Obviously, I could just do it at any point, just like I'm doing Sunshine at this point. I only decided to do Sunshine over Mario Galaxy because we do have a playthrough up. It's just that it's low fidelity, but I could still redo it, and I would be happy to do so. For me, personally, that game was one of the masterpieces that I definitely would replay 10 times over just to re-experience the youngest self that has memories of both good and bad times, but Nintendo is kind of there for me in those dark times. So, if you're interested in me playing Super Mario Galaxy again for the channel, but in high fidelity and actual capture card instead of just a really dinky camcorder and bad audio setup, remember to click that button down in the description below to vote for that. You already know what it is. It's Octopath Traveler. Come on, dudes. I kept saying since last year, when the unfortunate thing where my hard drive broke with all my stuff in it, and I didn't have a way to retrieve it, that I would want to do something on Octopath Travelers. Last year, well, I guess I should probably date this. 2019 basically was a rough year for me with YouTube content because of, again, stuff that was out of my control, where my digital hard drive decided to break one day. So I lost a lot of stuff and a lot of things that I cared about on there. And it really hurt because I was like, I would have to start everything from scratch because I didn't have backups. But now, as you can tell, 2020, I was able to pay it off to people to fix it. It was a lot of money, but I was happy to have all of those memories back and to be able to fulfill some of my promises by being able to come back in full swing basically this year. So, with that being said, Octopath Traveler is still on my mind, and it's still a game I really want to replay, because I feel like, just like how with Xenoblade Chronicles, I could do a lot more with how the story works and how the gameplay works, but I could be doing some interesting things with that to make it very, you know, an interesting playthrough per se. So I would be very interested to do that, right? But that being said, my lovely chums on the internet, if you want to vote for Octopath so we can finally see this playthrough that I've been hyping up for the past couple of years on the channel, remember to click that button, and I'll make sure to make this one that you won't forget. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for everything. We went through all of the games that I want to section off for each part of the year. So now it's up to you guys to decide, and I mean, either way, I think I'm going to really be happy with any of the games that you choose. That's why I gave you guys the power to vote, because then I can just prioritize both my real life, the new schedule, the old schedule that we have, which is 3 videos a week, and maybe extra if I have extra left over, and also being able to just be able to pay for video games, because this upcoming year is going to be a rough one, because I'm probably going to be broke half the time because of not having enough money for all these wonderful games that are out. But you know what? Since thanks to last year not having that many games to play, respectively, I mean, I only played like one new game out of everything, well, 2 new games out of everything we had, but really only one of them was actually like new, and the other one was like, oh, these are classics. But I digress. But yeah, the video's probably getting long at this point, and I'm just rambling. But again, we got the February games, our Bravely Defaults 2, our Shimagami Tensei Nocturne, our Personified Strikers. That individual poll will be put down in the description for that month, so make sure to vote on that before the end of, I would like to say the end of the January, no, I'll say February the 7th, because at least at that time, the games that I actually would want to get, I can get at that time because they'll be coming out. So we'll say the 7th of February for those categories. And for the summer one, I mean, you guys can do it anytime now, or when I get closer to actual summer, when I make an individual video again talking about these games, and for you guys to vote for them, because once again, summer is quite a long ways away, but I always think very far ahead. I may have Xenoblade Chronicles both 1, 2, and X to have to think about, you know, me thinking about the future all the time, but I digress. So, and remember, the summer games are Disgaea 6, Rune Factory 5, and SMT 5. A lot of 5 and 6s, man. Like, some of these series are really going, huh? And then lastly, if you guys want me to revisit any games that I'm interested in revisiting right now because I have the time or capacity to, again, this one is just going to be on this video because I'll probably do them at some point whenever people are interested to see them. So even if the votes sway over some time, I probably won't be doing these revisits unless I have a real gap of time after finishing one of the games either too soon or too late, where I will basically make some time to play some of these so I can just have them up as videos on the channel. But again, they are Xenoblade Chronicles 2 again, Super Mario Galaxy, but actual capture card, and Octopath Traveler, the game that I wanted to do but never has done on the channel yet. Alright, but I think that's going to be everything, my lovely child of the internet. This voice recording is almost 30 minutes, so I should probably wrap it up, because this editing is going to be really fun and exciting to do, but also I have to go, because as I'm recording this, it's the 23rd of December on 2020, and I have only 2 more days of work left to go, and then I'm home. I'm home. But until then, my lovely child of the internet, thank you for listening if you're in 2020, and thank you for listening again if you're in 2021. I hope you guys either have a great New Year's Eve or a great New Year in general, and I will catch you, lovely child of the internet, next time as we head back to one of the various worlds that we will explore together. So until then, ciao ciao, until next time.